Jafar has been spotted behind the wheel of the car again. Everyone watch out, get off the road, get off the pavement. Everyone get into your bunkers. Are we all ready? We all sat down? Let's get straight into the video. Hello and welcome back. My name is John. This is Cookie Tea, and why don't we just get straight into the video? So, Jeffree Star has found himself in a huge controversy. Basically, Jafar had this car accident and he posted some very dramatic photographs on social media saying it was a severe car accident. But Jeffree left the hospital the next day and just had a brace on, that was it. And they both sort of, him and the guy that he was with, sorry, I feel like I'm being a bitch while I talk about this, but it was just frustrating hearing about it because I think I've told you, one of my friends I've shown you one of my previous videos is a doctor and he does emergency medical work as well. And he often literally drives up to like car crashes, like actual severe car crashes where you've had 4 people in a car with no seatbelts in a high-speed collision, right? And we're talking like severe car crash, right? Like people not alive. Whereas Jafar just rolling his rolls a few times and a lot of it looked fine. It just had some damage on it. Obviously it has rolled. It was a bit like severe, really. That's the wording we're going to use. Anyway, they posted these very dramatic photographs next to each other. One of them with Jeffree's friend like staring at him attentively whilst he's like KO'd. And then like a few minutes later, not a few minutes, but like the same day, we got another photograph of Jeffree by the other guy's bed, looking at him really attentively while he's KO'd. And so it's almost like, which one of you is KO'd? Are you just taking turns? Do you know what I mean? Like, for anyone that's obviously been in hospital and has had like any form of accident or just generally has been sick, if you are in intensive care or any sort of emergency room and you are laid there, you're usually not in the condition where you can just get up and have a walk and sit next to your friend and have a chat. You know, you're usually on strong medication, you're still in pain, you're sort of laid there and you're just kind of like trying to focus on breathing, right? So anyway, sorry for my bitching over, but I don't appreciate people over dramatizing car crashes because it's actually a very serious subject. So sorry for being triggered, but I'm also not sorry at the same time because I'm a bitch. So this was done by, I don't know if it's professional paparazzi because they look more like fans. They're just kind of holding the phones like, hey, and stuff like that. But basically some people caught Jeffree in the street and he looks very happy to be recognized. You can see the way he's standing and talking. He's like, oh, the paparazzi, just can't get enough of me. That's the vibe I got watching. Okay, why don't we watch it together and you can judge for yourself?
We had a little accident. We're still alive. We're doing amazing.
Are you traumatized?
No, I feel really good. I'm such a hard worker. I'm like, it just stopped me for a minute, but it's been really good.
You know, moving forward, you know, from your past experience and what you just went through.
Yeah, of course.
What can we see from you moving forward?
Honestly, I had a lot of time to reflect and I had a lot of enlightening, enlightenment. I know that sounds a little crazy, but a lot of major changes have happened, which I'm going to reveal soon.
Amazing.
Yeah, but I'm feeling really good.
The rehab's amazing. Everything.
Yeah, physical therapy, it's good.
A week or I don't know.
Only a few right now. I can't bend over. That's our joke right now, but I'm clear to drive. So this is my first day driving, really.
The first day driving back?
And how did you feel?
Really good. Look at this beauty, right?
Jeffree, what are you? Can I get
one, Jeffree? Thank you so much.
What do you mean by that, Jeffree?
Jeffree, can I get one over the shoulder?
All right, I'll see y'all later.
So that is the full clip. Anyway, to quote here, he did say, honestly, I had a lot of time to reflect and I had a lot of enlightening, I know that sounds a little crazy, but a lot of major changes have happened, which I'm going to reveal soon, he teased. You know, and also Jeffree said like his spine had been shattered, but then people are saying online that it was actually like slightly dislodged, hence the brace. Just for reference here, I think one of the reasons I'm touchy about this is when I was in high school, there was actually a big severe car crash. There was 3 girls and I think they were a year above me. And I didn't know the girl, but I'd spoken to her a few times. And the 2 girls in the front, I think were fine, but the one in the back got thrown really hard against the back seat. They hit a tree at like 70 miles an hour. And I think she was in hospital for 2 days in intensive care and they basically had a choice for her. Like she actually shattered her spine, like the severe car crash with the shattered spine that Jeffree's going on about as he traipsed out of hospital the next day. This is actually what this girl went through. And I believe she had a choice between either having the surgery and potentially gaining access to her legs again, but it was very, very dangerous surgery, or being in a wheelchair for the rest of her life. And she chose the surgery and she died. Right, and which it was obviously very, very sad at the time. Like our whole school was like traumatized. Yeah, I mean, obviously wear your seatbelts. That's the main, point of the story. But I think the driver only got like a broken ankle or something. But obviously the person in the back, there's less safety. She wasn't wearing a belt, so you're pretty much screwed, right? This is a common occurrence I've learned from my friend that does this work, and he's told me, obviously he can't tell me too much, but he tells me, it's a thing. People are driving around with no seatbelts, high speed, with tons of people in the car. Like, I couldn't imagine it because I've always worn my seatbelt, and so is everyone that I know. I don't know anyone that doesn't wear their seatbelt. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those things, like, it's just, why would you not? Like, I don't understand. It's like, I just don't get it. But anyway, I think that's why it can be a bit precious when people try and dramatize things for the sake of social media and news articles with this sort of thing, just because maybe it's a bit close to me. But I know it's very common, by the way. I know a lot of people have lost people to car crashes, especially when we're younger and people first get their licenses and go out racing and stuff like that. I know it's a common thing, so I appreciate there's probably more of you out there as well that have had similar experiences. So in a statement, again, Jeffree said, "No, we were not speeding. No, there was no drugs involved. No, there was nothing wrong except the weather and an accident." Yeah, so obviously, if you don't see the black ice, you don't see the black ice, but it's one of those things, when you do driving tests in the UK, they're very, very strict with these sorts of things. Like, you're kind of taught in the UK that if you're in an accident by yourself, like, it's really your fault. So say, for example, you slip on black ice, you should be aware of what the temperature is outside to start with, and that should give you like a warning of caution of black ice if it's below freezing, right? Obviously, if you live somewhere that's always freezing, then it's a bit more difficult, right? But it's that sort of thing. But at the same time, who knows what happens? They're in a very big car, a 2.5 ton Rolls Royce. And I think they were just very lucky that that's the car that they were in. It sounds like they kind of slid off the side of the road, went into a ditch and then rolled a few times. That's what it sounds like. The only reason I say it didn't look crazy severe is when he went out the next day, I think it was, to go and look at the damage to the car. Again, if you have like a very severe accident, you're going to see the crime scene the next day. Like, what the hell? The car had some definite damage to it. It obviously hit something, and Rolls Royce is a very, very solid built cars, but cars are designed nowadays, like the exterior pieces are designed to release the impact of crashes by physically breaking off and shattering. Like, that's part of the design of these vehicles. I think I told you in a previous video when I spoke about this, my brother actually flipped, I think it was a Vauxhall, maybe it was a Corsa or something. It was like a hire car, and he was driving at night time down a country road, and something was in the road and he hit it really hard. And I think the way he described it to me, the car kind of proper rolled over in the air. Like, it wasn't like it was rolling on the ground. Like, it physically flew into the air and rolled and then smashed the floor in a field. And he told me the second the car hit the ground, all the body panels just shattered off. So like the front bumper, the rear bumper, there was pieces of car everywhere. But the whole point of that is that it releases the energy of the impact, right? So for anyone that's done judo, for example, or any sort of martial arts, they teach you when you fall over, you don't just fall, you slam your arm down as you fall, because that impact on your back is going to get spread across your arm as you hit it. And once you learn that, it can become like a mechanism that you naturally just do. So someone at my judo class when I was younger and I used to go, fell off a motorbike, and they did that. And it pretty much, like, they said it saved their life basically, because it took the impact away from hitting the head, because they put the hand down first, like bang. But my point being, these cars are designed to brake if there's a large crashing impact, because that can release the energy. And when I looked at the photographs of the car, it looks like it's crunched a bit on the front corner, and it looks like the roof is slightly crunched in a bit as well. But generally speaking, the car was in very good condition. It wasn't covered in scratches, it wasn't covered in dirt, it wasn't fully rolled over. Like there wasn't, when a car properly rolls over a lot of times, the whole roof is crunchy and the wing mirrors are snapped off and stuff like that. It wasn't like that. It kind of just looked like a little fall. So I don't know. I think it definitely was an accident, and obviously went to hospital, and I hope they get better as fast as possible. But the whole thing was definitely over dramatized. He said he was, just a quote, he's grateful to be alive after the severe car accident which occurred in Wumming. So I believe Jeffree was actually discharged the same day. From hospital. I think he went to go and see the car though the next day, and he said, "This was hard, but I had to go see my car." And again, what's difficult is he said that he was in like excruciating pain and stuff like that. I don't know, it's just difficult because he's out here draping around in a skimpy laced thing, and he's rolling around to these events, and he's popping into Rolls Royce with no mask, talking to paparazzi, taking pictures with fans, whatever it was. I don't know if it was fans or paparazzi. I think it looked like fans. People are actually, is it just me that's feeling this? Okay, you can have a conversation with me about this. For me, excruciating pain means that you're not going to be traipsing around like in a fancy outfit, going in and out of places and jumping into a car, like posing and taking pictures. Like, excruciating pain is like lying in bed at home, just focusing on recovering, right? I don't know. I don't want to think about it too much, but the whole thing is just like, Anyway, I believe that the person that Jeffree was with, Lucas, Daniel Lucas, had recently had colon surgery for something. And so when he was in the crash, there was some damage to obviously where it was healing. So he stayed in hospital a bit longer. So that just seemed like an actual thing. But the whole thing with Jeffree, I just didn't really get it. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. There's obviously some damage, but severe. Anyway, you can let me know what you think about this. Maybe I'm just being a huge bitch. And if that's the case, I do apologise. You know, there's always room to improve, and I'm absolutely no exception to that. But for some reason, as Peter Griffin would say, this just grinded my gears. So anyway, I want to say a huge thank you for watching. I'm working on a big announcement later this week after what I spoke about last week with, you know, things I'm getting frustrated with at the moment with YouTube. But I will see you very, very soon. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. GMT in the next video. Bye.